welcome back to course Artificial Intelligence. Our today's topic of video is Introduction to Expert System. So in the previous videos we discussed about the machine learning and we understand what is machine learning, how it works, what are the different types and different algorithms. Now in today's video we are going to discuss about one more application of AI, that is expert system. Expert system, we can say it is one of the application of artificial intelligence. So in the initial videos when we discuss about AI, what is AI, what are the applications of AI, at that time I told you that expert system is one of the application. Now in today's video we are going to discuss in detail what is expert system, what it can do and how it works. So let's understand expert system. So before understanding expert system, I want to tell you why there is a need of expert system, that how that term comes, expert system. See, expert system is generally used to emulate the decision making ability of a human being. So I will give you example. That let's say doctor. Okay, so in every country there is a doctor, but can you imagine a situation in the rural areas? So there is a lack of doctor, means expert doctor is not available. Though the doctor is available in the rural areas, but still it is being found that the expertise doctor is not available in the rural areas. So what can we do in that case? So the thing is that so in that case what will be the solution? Is it the case that we will try to mimic the knowledge, we will mimic the knowledge of that particular expert doctor into a particular system and we can use that system in the rural areas? So is this thing is possible? Yes, of course this thing is possible. So in this case what we are trying to do, we are trying to mimic the human intelligence into the machine, which is what the main objective of AI. What is the main objective of AI? We want to design a particular system which behave just like a human being, which acts like a human being, which takes decision just like a human being. So expert system is one of the initiative to overcome, or you can say to achieve that particular objective. So in case of expert system, what we are trying to do, we are trying to mimic the human intelligence into the machine. So instead of doctor, we are using that particular machine to diagnose the people. I just given you the example that the particular doctor who is expert, but that expert doctor can be available at only one place. But suppose we want that same doctor, we want to avail the benefit of the knowledge that particular doctor is having in that field at multiple location at the same time. How it is happening, how it is possible? So by designing a expert system. So in expert system what we will do, we'll try to mimic the knowledge of that particular expertise doctor into that particular system, so that that system can be used to diagnose the disease. So this is what the main intention behind designing a expert system. So let's understand what is expert system. Actually expert system is nothing but a computer application, or you see expert system can be available in terms of hardware or software. Okay, both things are possible. So the thing is that in case of hardware, we'll just embed that particular software. So more or less we can say that expert system is that particular computer application which is used to solve a complex problem which requires a domain specific knowledge. See, there are two types of systems are there. One is the intelligent system and second one is a expert system. So intelligent system works in the generalized way. Let's say I'll just take an example of MBBS doctor. That MBBS doctor can diagnose a number of disease. Means we can say that MBBS doctor is a generalized doctor. He can diagnose the disease related to fever, disease related to, means suppose you have suffering from any orthopedic disease. Orthopedic means your hand get fracture, your legs get fracture. So that MBBS doctor can able to diagnose it. Okay, so generally the MBBS person we considered as a intelligent system, but in this case we want a domain specific knowledge or domain specific expert. So in that case what we prefer nowadays, it is observed that people is preferring the expert. Suppose you met with an accident and your leg get fracture. So in that case, instead of going to that MBBS doctor, but you are going to orthopedic doctor. Why is it so? Because that doctor is having expertise in that particular field. So this is what an expert system. Expert expert system is a computer application which is used to solve complex problems which require domain specific knowledge. So there is a difference between intelligent system and expert system. Expert system required domain specific knowledge, whereas intelligent system required a generalized knowledge. We are saying that particular person is all-rounder, or he is having a very good knowledge because he is not having the knowledge in only one domain, but he is having knowledge in multiple domains. So that can be used in a intelligent system. But in this case we are talking about the domain specific knowledge. So domain specific knowledge is used to solve that particular problem. Means suppose if you want to solve that particular financial problem, can you consult with the doctor to solve that financial problem? Of course not, because that particular doctor is having a knowledge in the medical field, and in this case your problem is of financial, so that financial problem can be solved by financial expert. So in this case we are talking about complex problem which require domain specific knowledge. Only generalized knowledge is not sufficient to solve a particular problem. Let's take a simple example. Nowadays, due to corona pandemic, our economy is getting slowed down. Okay, our GDP is not growing that much. Okay, we are facing inflation. The cost of various items get increased. So in that case, suppose our government want a suggestion, whether that government will take a suggestion from particular doctor or whether government take a suggestion from you. No, obviously government will take a suggestion from a financial expert. Why financial expert? Because that financial expert is having expertise in that particular field. He can give suggestion better as compared to you. You and me can give any suggestion, but we didn't have that much knowledge in that particular field. So in that case, government obviously take a suggestion from that particular domain expert who is having expertise in that particular field. So in the same way, expert system is try to mimic domain specific knowledge by using that computer application, and that may available in the form of software or in the form of hardware. Just like that, you will create one kiosk, just like a ATM machine. Okay, just like a ATM machine, you will create a kiosk, and later on in this video we are going to discuss about the example of that expert system. Mycene is one of the expert system which is used to diagnose the disease. So we can have this just like a ATM machine where we need to just enter the symptoms, the symptoms that we are facing. We need to enter that system, and for that system, that particular machine will give this, that you are suffering from this kind of disease, and you can take such kind of pills, or you can take a such kind of tablet to in order to cure from that disease. So such kind of thing is possible, and so this is what an example of Mycene. Mycene is one of the example of a expert system. So my intention is to tell you what is expert system. Actually, expert system is a particular system or computer application which mimics the human intelligence, which mimics the domain specific knowledge which can be used to solve a complex problem. Okay, so this is what the main concept of expert system, and it's totally depend upon if-then rules, because we need to mimic that particular knowledge into the knowledge base. So for that purpose we need to formulate the rule, because their expert system is based on we can say it's a rule based expert system where rules are already being formulated in order to provide the answer to the query being asked by the user, or let's say customer. So this is what a expert system. Now let's explore more about expert system. So as I told you, it's a computer software that emulates human expertise. Okay, emulates means what? It's try to mimic the human expertise into that particular machine. It can deal with small and when defined domain of expertise. That expert system is capable of solving any real world problem, that is domain specific problem it can solve. It's able to act as a cost effective consultant, because you can create a multiple copies for that. Just take a simple example, that particular doctor is having very good expertise in that particular field of a medicine, but that doctor is charging too much fees. So instead of this, what we can do, we can just mimic the knowledge of that particular doctor and try to create a number of copies copies so that it can be used at multiple location, and the cost is also get reduced. So in that sense we are saying that it's a cost effective consultant. Means cost is required, obviously cost is required to develop that particular system, but once you develop that particular system you can use it at a multiple location. So in that sense we are saying that it's a cost effective consultant. It can explain reasoning behind any solution, it finds reasoning, what is the reason, what is the cause behind that, and it should able to learn from the experience. This is machine learning is that particular AI concept which gives the ability to the machine to learn by its own from the experience, based on the experience that machine is going to learn. But I can say that expert system never replace the human being in 100%. We are talking about 100%, though we are saying that expert system is try to emulate the expert knowledge, human domain specific knowledge, but we can't say that 100% we try to replace the thing. Just take a simple example, that if you are suffering from a simple fever, so you just go to medical and ask that medical person, I am suffering from fever, give me any tablet. That particular medical person will give you. Sometimes it is found that you get cure, but sometimes it is found that you didn't get cure. Why? Because that medical person is not an expert. Okay, though he is giving the medicine, tablets, but he is not an expert. So you cannot trust 100% on that particular person. In the same way, you cannot trust 100%. I am talking about in terms of 100%. Up to certain extent or up to certain level, that expert system can solve your problem. But if you want 100% solution, expert system is not the solution. But still somehow you can say that expert system will help us to solve a particular complex problem which required a domain specific knowledge. Now the next thing is how exactly domain system, expert system is being designed, or how it works. Okay, so initially what we have, this is a human expert, let's say the doctor. Okay, it's a doctor. Then we required knowledge engineer. So what is the role of knowledge engineer? Knowledge engineer will take the knowledge from human expert. Human expert will tell, suppose we want to design an expert system for medical field. So in that case what we required? We required a doctor who is having a knowledge about all kinds of diseases. Okay, let's say we consider one of the disease, cardiologist. Particular person is a cardiologist. So let's say this is a cardiologist, Mr. X is a cardiologist, and we want to create an expert system which can assist in the cardiological disease, related disease. So in that case what we'll do, we require knowledge engineer who try to take the knowledge from that particular doctor and try to store it in the knowledge base. Knowledge base is a particular place where we are storing the knowledge. And for doing this, why do we require knowledge engineer? Because knowledge engineer should have knowledge about a particular domain, because doctor is going to tell some of the terms which is not understandable by general human being. So for that purpose we require a knowledge engineer. Knowledge engineer is also having expertise in that particular field. Now in the software industry you may heard about a domain analyst. Okay, domain analyst. What is the role of domain analyst? Suppose that company want to got a project of medical field, so they require a domain analyst who is having a knowledge in that medical field. Suppose particular bank want to implement their software, so in that case particular company will, IT company will send company will send a financial domain analyst in order to get the requirement, because whenever that client is giving their requirement, they are talking about in terms of their domain. So that knowledge engineer should have knowledge of that particular field. In this case we are trying to design an expert system for medical field, let's say for cardiology. So that knowledge engineer should have knowledge about cardiology, and then knowledge engineer will take the knowledge from that doctor and try to store it in the knowledge base. Knowledge base is a place where knowledge is being stored. Now in this case what we have, inference engine. What is the role of inference engine? Inference engine is what a inference rule, because we know that expert system is a rule based system. Okay, we can say that some of the expert systems are rule based system. Okay, so we are trying to inference the knowledge, we are trying to extract the knowledge from the knowledge base by using that rule, and that rule is formulated in the inference engine. So let's understand how that expert system will work. Suppose this is a user, let's say you are the user, you are dealing with that expert system. So this is a user interface provided to you. That user interface can be a graphical user interface through which you need to enter the symptoms that you are suffering from. Once you enter the symptoms, based on that symptoms, that inference engine will formulate the rule, and by using that rule, that inference engine will try to extract the knowledge from the knowledge base. In the knowledge base, that knowledge engineer have stored the knowledge about the that particular cardiology, and user has entered the symptoms, and that's based on that symptoms, inference engine will formulate the rules, and by using that rule, knowledge is being extracted from the knowledge base and provided output to the user in the form of response. So this is how expert system is going to work. So what we have seen, we have domain expert, domain expert, let's say doctor, knowledge engineer who extract the knowledge and store it in a knowledge base. Then inference engine is that component which try to extract the knowledge from the knowledge base and provided it to user with the help of user interface. User interface play very important role. We have graphical user interface, command user interface. So obviously graphical user interface is more beneficial. So this is how your expert system works. Now let's discuss what are the desirable feature of any expert system. Very first thing, it should deal with uncertainty. Uncertainty means what we already discussed in the previous videos. We discuss about uncertainty handling techniques. So probability is one of the technique which can be used to handle uncertainty. So your expert system can able to handle uncertain situation, because there can be a situation for which knowledge is not stored in the system. So in that case, how your expert system will react. Okay. We have designed an expert system for that particular diagnosis of disease, and very new symptoms that is being provided to that expert system. So how your expert system will respond to that query, this is important. So your expert system is capable of handling the uncertainty. So in that case, it is expected that your expert system should provide some kind of response, not 100% but tentative response by using the probability, right? Then explanation, it should provide expert system should provide appropriate explanation as per the query asked by the user. Ease of modification, you can easily modify, because see, in case of expert system, you are storing the knowledge. Now you are designing expert system today, and after 1 year obviously a number of diseases are coming. Okay, so obviously you need to modify that expert system as per the current need. Okay, so it should be modifiable. Means ease of modification should be there. Then transportability, you can transport easily from one place to another, because I told you that expert system can be available in terms of software, in terms of hardware, because in case of hardware we are trying to embed that particular software. Just take a simple example of kiosk. You have just created a kiosk related to medical. Okay, you just install that kiosk. Any person suffering from disease can enter the symptoms, and that kiosk or that expert system will guide or diagnose the disease and also give prescription what kind of tablet that particular person has to take. So that particular expert system can easily be transported from one place to another. Then adaptive learning, this is important. That particular expert system should adapt as per the current need. It is not a case that once you design and that's it, because every day knowledge is going to be changed, every day new knowledge will be generated. So your expert system can able to do this or able to handle that situation. Its performance should be high. As I told you that expert system is not 100% a replacement of human being, but still it can help you a lot. Adequate response time, you should get a response very quickly. Otherwise you just enter the symptoms into expert system and your expert system is giving a response after 1 hour. So this thing should not be there, and also it should be reliable. Okay, so these are the various features that we expect our expert system should have. Next thing is, what are the different examples of expert system? I just given you the idea about Mycene. Mycene is one of the expert system that is being developed to emulate the knowledge in the medical field. Okay, Mycene is a expert system developed to diagnose the disease in the medical field. Then Prospector is another expert system that is developed for a geological survey, geologist, in order to assist the geologist. Prospector is an expert system that is being developed. and Dendral is another expert system that is developed to deal with the problems in the organic chemistry, okay, in order to identify the unknown organic molecules. So for this Dendral can be used. So these are the few examples of famous expert system which is developed for specific domain. Mycin is for medical domain, Prospector is for geologist, then Dendral is for organic chemistry. So I have told you that expert system works based on the domain specific knowledge. That's why these are the three examples of expert system which is being developed for three different specific domain. Now the next thing is, what are the benefits of expert system? So if we talk about the benefit, expert advice is available all the time. Just like that, it is available 24/7 because it's a machine. So you can't say that I am not going to respond to your query. Okay, so it is available all the time, 24/7. The performance, expert system do not forget, that is the thing. Sometimes particular doctor is suffering from particular disease, so in that case maybe the case that doctor may face the problem of memory loss. So in that case that particular knowledge cannot be used, but this is not the case in case of expert system. It is always available. It make a rational decision without having emotional overhead. That is the thing. Generally it in the medical field, particular doctor has to undergo a surgery, but that doctor is not doing the surgery of his relative because emotional thing is there. So but this is not the case in case of machine. Suppose you are using machine, you are using expert system, you are using computer. This is not the issue that whether that particular person is a relative or not. Okay, so that is again the that expert system can make a rational decision without any bias. Reproducibility, many copies can be created. Okay, you cannot create a copy of a human being, but you can create a copy of machine which mimics the human expertise into that machine. So this is possible. The next one is efficiency. Increase the throughput and decrease the personal cost. That is important. Does not get tired. This is a very important thing. See, doctor is a human being, so after doing the job the doctor gets tired. The efficiency of that particular doctor, you can say that after, if the doctor is working continuously for 48 hours, so the efficiency may get reduced, but this is not the case in case of machine. Okay, it's a machine, it's a computer, so it can work continuously without any tiredness. And consistency, with the expert system similar transaction is handled in the same way. That is the same thing. See, most of the time it is being observed that if we are doing same task again and again, we are getting fed up. We are getting frustrated of doing the same task again and again, but this is not the case in case of machine. Machine can do the same task again and again for n number of times. So these are the various benefits of expert system. Next we talk about what are the drawbacks of expert system. So usually only covers a narrow range of knowledge. That's why I told you that machine never going to replace the human being in the 100% way. Okay, I'm talking about 100% efficiency, but still it can do this. A lot of effort and cost has to go in making good expert system. Obviously that costing will be there, because cost is involved in order to design this, and most expert system are menu driven. Just I told you that expert system is a rule based expert system. Menu driven means what? Only means you do not have any authority to enter a new question. Already question is being fed, and according to that it is asking you. This is called as a menu driven. Just like in the hotel, you have been provided the menu and you don't have any option to say that I want this particular dish. You need to just select the dish which is available in that restaurant. So this is called as a menu driven. Okay, then does not learn from the mistake unless feedback and maintenance part is also required. Obviously it's a machine, so obviously it required a maintenance. Maybe some kind of issue may caused. Okay, and a lack of creativity, lack of human touch. That is the thing, lack of human touch. See, take a simple example. Suppose is a doctor and who is going to treat the patient. So in that case, suppose a particular patient is get afraid of getting the injection, so in that case doctor will tell some story or try to convince that patient. But this is not a case in case of machine. Just imagine a situation that particular robot is a doctor and who is try to give injection to particular person, and particular person is having fear of injection. So in that case, what robot will do, robot will not take care of this thing that particular person is getting afraid of this, because there is a lack of human touch. That is always a problem in case of robot, or you can say in case of machine. So we can say that these are the drawbacks of expert system. Though expert system is beneficial, it try to help you in the some way, but it also has few drawbacks. So at the last I can say that expert system is not 100% replacement of human being. Then what are the different applications? See, applications of expert systems, the scope is very wider. In multiple domains you can use it. You can use expert system in the medical field, you can use expert system in the financial field, agriculture field, manufacturing field. So a number of domains are available where you can use the expert system, because expert system is to try to mimic the domain specific knowledge and try to solve a complex problem which required a domain specific knowledge. So here I mentioned few application. Again I can say that these are the only application, but other than this n number of applications are available for domain expert system. So diagnostic tool, just I told you, in the case of medical field we have Mycene is one of the expert system. Then telephone based help desk, just like nowadays IVR is available. Nowadays you can see the chatbot is available, who is working in place of customer care executive, will try to solve the queries of customer. Okay, so this is also, we can say, it's a expert system who is having a domain specific knowledge. Okay, the chatbot for e-commerce system is different, chatbot for medical diagnosis is also different. Okay, then financial decision making, just I told you, in case of finance you can also have expert system which can provide the guidance related to finance. Then government services, in case of tax, in income tax department, most of the people is having a issue how to file a return. So in that case they can develop a expert system which can assist the people while filing the income tax return. So it can also be used for planning and scheduling in the aviation industry, or in case of railways or any transport system, tourism system, it can be used for making the planning and scheduling. Monitoring also, for the sake of monitoring in the ground field, in the battlefield, can be used as an assistant. And also it can be used in the manufacturing industries in order to solve the various complex problem which require domain specific knowledge. So these are the various applications of expert system. Then next was what are the fundamental blocks of expert system. So fundamental blocks already we have discussed, but still we need to discuss over here. This is a non-expert user, let's say customer, you and me, considered as a non-expert user. This is one of the important component of expert system, who used to query to that expert system, who is the user of that system, makes a query to user interface. User interface is nothing but a GUI or CUI through which you are interacting with that expert system. Inference engine is that component which based on the user's query, it formulate the rule, make use of this rule to extract the knowledge from the knowledge base and provide it to the user. Then knowledge base is that component where complete knowledge about that particular domain has been stored, and knowledge from the expert. Okay, we require an expert person who can give or who can provide the knowledge in order to store it in the knowledge base. So these are the various fundamental blocks of expert system. So I hope you understand what is the concept of expert system, how it works, what are the application, what are the advantages, what are the drawbacks, and what are the components of expert system. Thank you.